What's up, math scholars and math haters? This is Mr. W. Today we're going to tackle question 28 in the 7th grade math questions that North Carolina released this past school year. The question tells us that Jane wants to pick out an outfit for the school dance. She can choose from 3 pairs of pants, 5 shirts, and 2 pairs of shoes, and we're trying to see how many different outfits does Jane have to choose from. Now, the big skill that this question tests us on is the fundamental counting principle. And while that looks like some kind of weird word that you would find in a sci-fi movie that describes a treasure or something that they have to find, it's actually relatively simple. And there is another question where I went into the fundamental counting principle in more detail. It's near the beginning of the 7th grade math questions, probably question 1, question 2, something like that. So if you want a little more depth, and especially how we can represent the fundamental counting principle using something called a tree diagram, go ahead and find that question. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and get through question 28. I'm going to make note that she has 3 pairs of pants, 5 shirts, and 2 pairs of shoes. The fundamental counting principle tells us that if we have choices for a few different parts of something that we're trying to put together, or something that represents like an entire thing, like an outfit, or the other question dealt with a sandwich, and we had choices for the type of bread and the type of cheese and the type of meat, we actually need to take the number of choices for each individual part of this whole thing that we're trying to make and multiply those all together. So in the case of this problem, if I take my pants, multiply it by my shirts, and multiply it by my shoes, so that's 3 pairs of pants, 5 shirts, and 2 pairs of shoes, that's going to give me the total outfits that that Jane can pick out. So 3 times 5 times 2, whether you do that in your calculator or in your head, you should get an answer of 30. There are 30 different outfits to choose from. And again, there is a way to represent this called a tree diagram, where I say that I branch out once for each type of pants. From there, I make another set of branches for each shirt, or each pair of shoes, and then I don't have room to write the branches for the shirts, which is why I decided to go ahead and tell you about the other question. But this is essentially how we represent something like this. If you want to see the other question, I believe, actually, that it's question 2 in the 7th grade math questions. So look that up if you want to see the tree diagram. Either way, this is how we do the fundamental counting principle. Multiply the number of choices for each part of the outfit that we're trying to make. We got 30. Answer is C.